Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone. Mission 1, America. Mission 2, China. Mission 3, Japan. Mission 4, Italy. Mission 5, Egypt. Mission.
What?